Hey, welcome to episode number 13 of Banjo Blitz. Today we are starting our unit on dynamics, my favorite topic in clawhammer banjo. Let me show you the pattern for the week, and perhaps I should describe it first so you get what's going on. The first 4 downbeats are going to be full volume, your loudest volume, with, still sounding good. And the second 4 beats, downstrokes, are going to be your quietest volume at which you can sound good. It's going to sound like this. Okay, so what are we looking for? What are we listening for here? First of all, you need to make sure that your tempo, when you're going from loud to soft, is consistent. You're probably going to find that your tendency is to slow down when you play quiet and to speed up when you play fast. Now today we are not using a metronome. You probably noticed my little drum table over here it's got nothing on it, and you were probably relieved to see there is no metronome. And that's by design. We've had 12 weeks now where we've been spending a lot of time with the metronome. I think it's really important to take a break from the metronome and start to trust your inner sense of time now that you've had all this time with a machine keeping count for you. So I want to free us up a little bit, and you're just going to have to trust your inner clock. But I really want you to listen to that transition. Pay attention to the transition from quiet to loud and from loud to quiet. Those transition points are the critical aspect of this exercise. Speaking of the transition points, the other thing you're going to listen for is a crisp transition. And this is actually harder than you would think. Going from full volume to your quietest volume on a dime within this structure of the meter that we're establishing is really tricky. So make sure your transitions are crisp. The third thing I want you to listen for, and this is getting into the more subtle points of deep listening, is that your loudest volume and your quietest volume are both good sounding. Your loudest volume shouldn't simply be you railing on the banjo to get the maximum amplitude out of the instrument. You really still want it to sound reasonably good as you can make it, as musical as you can make it. And the same goes for the quiet parts. Anybody can get and just sort of play whisper quiet, but that will not be useful to you in a musical setting. So try to keep your loudest and your quietest volumes still musically useful information. And that's going to require, you paying special attention to how your tone sounds. Especially on the quiet parts, make sure that your tone is still full and round, that it sounds sweet. If you get so quiet that your notes sound especially thin, then that's an issue. The other thing you'll notice is that the more you do this, the longer you spend playing with dynamics with your right hand, is the more headroom you're going to have in either direction as you practice. So, for example, when you first start this exercise, you may find that you can't get very loud and still have it sound good, and you can't get very quiet and still have it sound good. Or your tempos get too screwed up as you're changing volume for it to be useful musically. But I think as you explore this and as you spend time with this exercise, you're going to find that you can get louder and you can get quieter, and that's what we're going for. So we're going to spend a lot of time with dynamics in the coming weeks. I've got some really exciting and interesting ways to explore dynamics with your right hand on the banjo. And that's it for today. Contact me, leave questions below. I'd love to hear how you guys fare with this exercise. And as always, please subscribe. And if you like the video, hit a thumbs up on it for me. Thank you. We will see you next week.